Hi, Chris Cernohous here with another tutorial. Today we're going to be doing a ginger flip tutorial. If you don't know what this is, it's a backflip and you push off an object with one hand. So it's different than a regular backflip just because you get to use an object, so it's actually easier in that aspect. The only reason that it makes it more difficult is because you have to be aware of the object and you don't want to run into it while you're upside down in the air. Okay. Alright, so obviously a prerequisite for this would be a backflip. Another prerequisite could be a palm flip. Palm flip you wouldn't be able to do on something like this. You'd need a flat wall. You jump up and you push off two hands. So that might be a prerequisite in the sense that with the ginger flip, sometimes you move forward or sideways. With a ginger flip, or with a palm flip, it's actually way easier than backflip and a ginger flip, I think. Ginger flip is a lot simpler too if you take off one leg. So if you do it like a cheat gainer and you go here and you start the swing before, it makes it a lot simpler. So when you're first starting, do them like that. Otherwise, a more difficult way is if you jump up and push off like this. And that's the part that's a lot more like a palm flip. So this is like a one-handed palm flip. So if you want to learn this trick, I would recommend learning a palm flip first, which is immensely easier. And if you can backflip, you're going to get it first try because all it is, just get close enough to the wall, you jump up, and when you push off, you're sacrificing height, but you're going to get tons more rotation. And your arm length is far enough away where your feet aren't going to touch or anything like that. You'll be high enough. If you can backflip, you'll do it first try. Alright, so I recommend doing a ginger flip on something that has corners because it's a lot easier to know where your run up is. So like if this is like a corner, you would want to do it at a 90-degree angle to it. So it makes it a little more difficult to understand where you want to take off on something that's round like this. But obviously I know what I'm doing, so I'm used to it, and I'm actually using this sign as my takeoff point. So I'm coming up here and I'm pushing off, so I know where to go. I know where to put my hand, and I know that my feet won't hit it. That's the big thing with the spheres and stuff. That if you're pushing off, then you don't. It's gonna be you're gonna like swing in because it's curved. So you just have to pretend that it's a flat wall. So if you have a flat wall or a corner to do it off, that would be better. I'm not exactly sure what it's called when you do a ginger flip off of something flat like this. I'll do a little mini tutorial on that too, but I just call that a ginger flip too. So like if you come up here and you swing and backflip like that, then that's a good prerequisite for it too. You get a lot more height with that one. Go. Alright, so now for the run up, the way you approach it is I do it very similar to a J-step. So for my J-step, it's usually left, right, left, and then I go in and do it. Otherwise, if you're closer, then it's just right, left, and then you go. And you can swing up the leg. That's what I normally do. If you're looking for a challenge, a good way to do it would be if you're here, you can forward roll. Now you're on 2 feet. You can jump and do it off 2 feet. I lift the knee instinctively because when you do it, yeah, you're going to be tucking both legs. So some people, when they first learn ginger flips, because they swing the leg first to make it easier, they end up doing it like a lot like a cheat gainer, so then it looks open and you're landing on one leg. That's good and all, but like I think that doing it tucked actually makes it appear more difficult than it actually is. So the more difficult you make it look, then I think the cooler it looks, or like just kind of like that. So you can just play around with it and do different things with it, do whatever. So, and another prerequisite, if you are having trouble with it, could be a palm spin. If you come up and you can palm spin it like it's like a side flip, but then you just kind of palm spin but it's backflip instead. That's just wall tricks in general are gonna help you. So now I'm gonna do some slow-mo so you guys can see my run up and see what it looks like.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do it on this so that you can see more of my 90-degree approach instead of on like something like a sphere. I'm not going to come in like a circle angle. So this way I'll come straight on so you can see it a lot better. And I want you to pay attention to how I'm pushing off, because when I first learned them, that was something that I always was the hardest for me, was pushing off, because I learned these before palm flips. So that's why it's good to learn palm flips first, because you get really the idea of pushing, because on these you won't get as much height because you don't have both arms to jump up. So you're gonna need to push to get the rotation. And on that other, on the telephone pole, I was because it was circular, I was more flipping sideways. So this will help to see like a more of a backflip motion. Also, don't forget to swing the arm up, and also I'm going to do it off 2 feet so you guys can see how that looks too. All right. Alright, so remember that pretend it's a wall, pretend this is all a wall. This is not a column. Okay, so if it's all a wall, and this is a corner, pretend that, so like this is a 90-degree corner. There's a building here. So I can't land on that side, and this is a wall. If I come up, I do not want my hand on this side of the corner. I want my hand on this side. So everyone tries to like come around, like, I'm sorry that I don't have a corner, but everyone tries to come around on the corner, like grab the corner. You just push the wall. That's why you need to learn palm flips first. Don't come around this side and try to lift up and flip, because that's going to turn into like palm spin or something like that. It's just going to, or your feet are going to hit it because you're going to go off axis. So definitely always come up this way and push. That's going to give you so much rotation. So here, and push. And you're pushing, you want your arm, your hand to be about chest height, because every flip you rotate around your hips. So if your hips are here and you're pushing down here, you're just going to push yourself backwards. If you push from up here, it's going to take too long to start the rotation. So if you push at your shoulders when you jump up, so wherever you're jumping, if you're jumping this high before you flip, then keep your arm right there, 90 degrees to your body. So that's your, always just push right across, always from the shoulders. That's going to be your fastest rotation. And don't forget to tuck, because that is not good. Just don't do it. Unless you want to lay out, because that'd be cool. So if you want to go for it, go for it. Just don't forget if it's your first time. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm going to do the mini tutorial on the one. If you're not pushing off something tall, then this is, I think it's called a ginger flip. If it's not, comment so that I know what it is actually called. But it's really similar to a ginger flip. So if this is a flat surface and you're doing a ginger flip like flip, the way to do that is you do it very similar to the ginger flip. You swing up the leg and you do it the same as cheek gainer, but tuck if you want to make it look cool. Otherwise you can do it with the open or however you want. But the difference between this one and the ginger flip is that the ginger flip, you get to push from the shoulder height to get the rotation, but this one you can't really push as much, so you have to lift. So when you lift like this, you're going to be, you need it underneath you. You can't go for the flip and just hang on the whole time. That's gonna like, that's just gonna lose your rotation, but you're gonna know where the object is, so it's kind of like give or take. But depending on how much you want to hold on to the object, it kind of depends up to you, but I usually let go when I'm about upside down. But also don't grab on, you want to push off like it's a flat object. And so yeah, tuck. And the scariest part of this, I think, is hitting your feet on the object. It's never actually happened to me, but it always runs through my mind because it's a corner. You almost always do it on a corner thing. I don't think I would really feel comfortable doing it on something that was running alongside me for a while. I might do it eventually. Maybe it's been done, I don't know. It's not like a huge deal, but like, yeah, I would prefer to do it on a corner, because that way when you come around the corner, you get kind of the same idea of a ginger flip, because yeah, it's a lot lower, so you're, like I said before, you're pushing at hip height. So the way to get that, here, can you come over here? So the way to get that is when you come up here, you're going to do this. You're going to get that, so it's like a pushing motion. That way you can still push your shoulders for the rotation. So you come up and you do this, okay? So it's like a kind of like this motion and this motion connected. So here and here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is what it looks like. That's it.